Shalom, welcome to Technically Torah. I am Heath Hayes. Today is day 69 of Read the Bible in a Year, and we are in Deuteronomy chapters 30 and 31. And in all of the Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 30 is probably one of my favorites. So let's get to it. And it shall be, when all these words come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you shall bring them back to your heart among all the nations where Yahweh your Elohim drives you, and shall turn back to Yahweh your Elohim, and obey his voice according to all that I command you today with all your heart, and with all your being, you and your children. Then Yahweh your Elohim shall turn back your captivity, and shall have compassion on you, and he shall turn back and gather you from all the peoples where Yahweh your Elohim has scattered you. If any of you are driven out to the farthest parts under the heavens, from there Yahweh your Elohim does gather you, and from there he does take you. And Yahweh your Elohim shall bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he shall do good to you, and increase you more than your fathers. And Yahweh your Elohim shall circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed, to love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, so that you might live. And Yahweh your Elohim shall put all the curses on the enemies and on those who hate you, who persecuted you. And you shall turn back and obey the voice of Yahweh, and do all his commands which I command you today. And Yahweh your Elohim shall make you have excess in all the work of your hand, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your livestock, in the fruit of your ground for good. For Yahweh turns back to rejoice over you for good, as he rejoiced over your fathers. If you obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim to guard his commands and his laws which are written in this book of the Torah, if you turn back to Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, for this command which I am commanding you today, it is not too hard for you, nor is it far off. It is not in the heavens to say, who shall ascend into the heavens for us, and bring it to us, and cause us to hear it, so that we do it. Nor is it beyond the sea to say, who shall go over the sea for us, and bring it to us, and cause us to hear it, so that we do it. For the word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, to do it. See, I have set before you today life and good, and death and evil. And that I am commanding you today to love Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in his ways, to guard his commands and his laws and his right rulings, and you shall live and increase, and Yahweh your Elohim shall bless you in the land which you go to possess. But if your heart turns away and you do not obey, and shall be drawn away and shall bow down to other mighty ones and serve them, I have declared to you today that you shall certainly perish. You shall not prolong your days in the land which you are passing over the Jordan to enter and possess. I have called the heavens and the earth as witness against you today. I have set before you life and death, and blessing and curse. Therefore you shall choose life, so that you live, both you and your seed, to love Yahweh your Elohim, to obey his voice, and to cling to him. For he is your life, and the length of your days, to dwell in the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Chapter 31. And Moshe went and spoke these words to all Israel. And he said to them, I am 120 years old today. I am no longer able to go out and come in, and Yahweh has said to me, you do not pass over the Jordan. Yahweh your Elohim is passing over before you. He shall destroy these nations from before you, and you possess them. Yehoshua himself, is passing over before you as Yahweh has spoken. And Yahweh shall do to them as he did to Sihon and to Og, the sovereigns of the Amorites in their land, when he destroyed them. And Yahweh shall give them over to you, and you shall do according to all the command which I have commanded you. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear nor be afraid of them, for it is Yahweh your Elohim who is going with you. He does not fail you nor forsake you. And Moshe said to Yehoshua, and Moshe called Yehoshua and said to him before the eyes of all of Israel, Be strong and courageous, for you are going with this people to the land which Yahweh has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you are to let them inherit it. And it is Yahweh who is going before you, and he himself is with you. He does not fail you nor forsake you. Do not fear nor be discouraged. And Moshe wrote this Torah and gave it to the priests, the sons of Levi, who bore all the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, and to the elders of Israel. And Moshe commanded them, saying, At the end of 7 years, at the appointed time, the year of release at the festival of Sukkot, when all Israel comes to appear before Yahweh your Elohim in the place which he chooses, read this Torah before all Israel in their hearing. Assemble the people, the men and the women and the little ones, and your sojourner who is within your gates, so that they hear and so that they learn and fear Yahweh your Elohim to guard to do all the words of this Torah. And their children who have not yet known it should hear and learn and fear Yahweh your Elohim as long as you live in the land and are passing over the Jordan to possess. And Yahweh said to Moshe, See, the days have drawn near to you to die, near for you to die. Call Yehoshua and present yourselves in attentive appointment so that I command him. And Moshe and Yehoshua went and presented themselves in the attentive appointment. And Yahweh appeared at the tent in a column of a cloud, and the column of a cloud stood above the door of the tent. And Yahweh said to Moshe, See, you are about to sleep with your fathers, and this people shall rise and whore after the mighty ones of the foreigners of the land, and into the midst of which they shall enter, and forsake me, and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my displeasure will burn against them in that day, and I shall forsake them and hide my face from them, and they shall be consumed, and many evils and distresses shall come upon them. And it shall be said in that day, Is it not because our Elohim is not in our midst that these evils have come upon us? And I shall certainly hide my face in that day because of all the evil which they have done, for they shall turn to other mighty ones. And now write down this song for yourselves and teach it to the children of Israel and put it in their mouths, so that this song is to me for a witness against the children of Israel. And I shall bring them in the land flowing with milk and honey, of which I swore to their fathers, and they shall eat and be satisfied and be fat. Then they shall turn to other mighty ones, and they shall serve them and scorn me and break my covenant. And it shall be when many evils and distresses come upon them, that this song shall answer before them as a witness, for it is not to be forgotten in the mouths of their seed. For I know their thoughts which they are forming today, even I am to bring them to the land which I swore to give them, even before I bring them into the land which I swore to give them. And Moshe wrote this song the same day and taught it to the children of Israel. And he commanded Yehoshua, son of Nun, and said, Be strong and courageous, for you are to bring the children of Israel into the land which I swore to them, and I myself am with you. And it came to be, when Moshe had completed the writings of the words of this Torah in a book until their completion, that Moshe commanded the Levites who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, saying, "Take this book of the Torah, and you shall place it beside the ark of the covenant of Yahweh your Elohim, and it shall be there as a witness against you. For I myself know your rebellion and your stiff neck. See, while I am still alive with you today, you have been rebellious against Yahweh. Then how much more after my death? Assemble unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, so that I speak these words in their hearing and call the heavens and the earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you shall do very corruptly, and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And evil shall come to you in the latter days, because you do what is evil in the eyes of Yahweh, to provoke him through the work of your hands." So Moshe spoke in the hearing of all the assembly of Israel the words of this song till their completion. All right. Deuteronomy 30 and 31. Next time, we'll see what that song is. Shalom.